Well, thanks. Can we just start by telling our listeners what Family Support Trust does?
Okay, so Family Support Trust is a non-governmental organization that works in partnership with the Ministry of Health and Childcare, providing medical and psychosocial support services to children who are sexually abused. Our services are also extended to adults who are also sexually abused.
All right. Sorry, Alice. I'm not to be. Your line sounds hollow. We can't hear you properly. Please, can you repeat that?
Okay. I was saying that Family Support Trust is an organization that works with children who are providing medical assistance and psychosocial support services that includes counseling to children who are survivors of sexual violence.
Thank you very much for that. All right. So today we're talking about perpetrators of sexual violence. Okay. So we're gonna jump into it and want to understand who are perpetrators of sexual violence.
Okay, Kandani. When we are talking about perpetrators of sexual violence, we are talking about any person who engages or attempts to engage a child into any sexual activity. This could include kissing a child, touching, fondling of private parts, showing a child pornographic pictures or films, or explicit stories, as well as having actual penetrative sex with a child, oral sex or anal sex with a child. So this is a perpetrator. And normally involves a perpetrator who is known, someone who is known to the child. In fact, 90% of the time, children are used by people they know and trust.
Yeah.
So this could be adults, a family member, a close relative, a maid, a co-tenant, a neighbor, or someone who is in a position of authority. And also, children can also abuse other children. So we are having cases of minor sexual violence being reported at our clinic. So these children could be older children or children who are more knowledgeable about sexual violence issues, especially children who have previous experience of sexual abuse, and they might exhibit sexualized behavior, as well as children with previous exposure to pornographic material. They can also want to experiment sexual activity with another child, or children who are in positions of authority. Strangers can also abuse our children, but these constitute almost 10% of abuses that are reported at our clinic. And also for children who are in their adolescent stage, they are coerced by perpetrators into relationships. So they are abused by their acquaintances, and normally these acquaintances, they are coerced to think they are in a relationship and they are their boyfriends. So a lot of teenagers and adolescents experience sexual violence in these relationships. So basically, those are our perpetrators of sexual violence when we are talking about sexual violence against children.
All right. So how can the children themselves identify these perpetrators of sexual violence?
Okay. So it's important for children to know that these people, perpetrators, are very good at manipulating them. So they are patient and they work to gain trust and a friendship. They build a relationship with the child. And normally, these people, they pay attention to what a child wants, what a child likes or dislikes, and they use this to interact with the child. They also take the ability of the child to protect themselves, like someone who occasionally comes and engages in casual touching to a child, casual hugging, casual kissing, or back rubs, or even casual talk about sexual explicit stories. So when children are supposed to be very careful about these people because they gain trust and they try to build a relationship with the child so that when sexual violence actually happens, they are not sure and they cannot tell it is actually sexual violence, and they cannot tell that the act that has been perpetrated on them is something that is bad.
All right, thank you so much for that. Okay, when you say that children, when we ask the question, how can children identify them? What if it's someone very close, like you spoke about domestic workers? It could be auntie Mumba, it could be an uncle. But in that situation, how is the child supposed to be quick to know that this is not right?
Okay. I think parents are supposed to tell their children a good touch in the bed touch. They're supposed to educate their children on don't touch areas so that when they are touched inappropriately, they are able to tell this is a good touch and this is a bad touch that can constitute sexual violence.
All right. So how can the parents protect their children, parents and guardians? How can they protect their children from perpetrators of sexual violence?
Okay. I think for parents, it's very important to come from a point where they realize that anyone is a potential abuser. So any person can abuse their children. When they realize that, they don't become too trusting of the relatives that come in our houses. They don't become too trusting of their family friends who occasionally visit, and they are always on guard of who is around their children. And also we're saying that parents are supposed to talk to their children early and often about sexual abuse and about healthy sexuality, so that children are able to identify if they are sexually abused. Like I previously said, parents are supposed to teach their children what is a good touch, what is a bad touch, and tell them that if someone tries to touch them in a way that they feel uncomfortable, they're supposed to tell. So they're also supposed to tell that person to stand up and say no, and immediately tell an adult person who can help them. And also we are saying that parents are supposed to tell their children that if sexual abuse happens, if someone touches them badly or they realize they are uncomfortable with it, they are supposed to know that it is never their fault. And it's also important for parents to know that it is never a child's fault. They are supposed to believe a child, to listen to a child, believe them if ever they are trying to tell them that sexual violence has happened to them.
All right. Growing up, I think, well, back in the day, they used to say that kids get very close to uncle and aunt. You spoke about... Can you hear me right now?
Yes, I can.
All right, let me put it this way. Kids get close to auntie and uncle, Wanoya Kumba, being maybe the parents, friends, or other relatives. And as such, there's innocent, which may seem innocent, that kids end up sitting on the laps of these uncles and aunties. There's the kissing on the cheek. For a child, they may think this is just harmless affection. Is this how some perpetrators may take advantage of children?
That is exactly how some perpetrators take advantage of children. So like I said, they try to nurture a relationship of trust, a relationship where the child feels comfortable around them. But I think the good thing is when a parent then has taught their child a good touch and a bad touch, and if ever they feel uncomfortable, or if ever they realize that this relationship or this kind of touch is not good, that is coming from an adult, we should always empower them to act on it, to tell someone, to actually tell that perpetrator that to tell them no, they should stop whatever they are doing, which is very important. And I understand you said, Kuti, In most cases, kind of welcome our we normally, as African, normally we tell children to respect adults. But as parents, I think we should come to a point where we let our children know that respect does not mean always doing what adults around us or the relatives that come to our house will tell us to do, tell them to do. So basically, when we have taught out your child's boundaries as a parent, a child has discernment. They are able to tell that this is now uncomfortable in their tell.
Wow. Okay. Thank you so much. So at the end of the day, the bottom line is, as parents, we should be able to listen to our children when they come and make these reports about the perpetrators of sexual violence. All right, we've got a message here that came through on the WhatsApp number. There's a parent that's saying, Chavari, I've never allowed vana vangu kuti vagare pamakumbo, pay anyone, relatives or not, because andizoziva kuti mangwana mwana achazobatwa, all in the name yekunzi ihama. Saka inini vana vangu ndakavadzidzisa kuti you do not sit on anyone's laps, you do not let anyone kiss you, be it an uncle or aunt, chero hanzvadzi yangu chaiyo haibvumire kuti andibvumidze kuti isimudze mwana wangu nekuti ndo matangira acho ende zvinhu zvakadaro zvinozoitika. That's what they're saying.
Yes. It actually thumbs up to that parent, because we have to remember, we said we should not be too trusting of even the close relatives.
Sorry, your phone is breaking. I'm sorry, can you please repeat that? Your phone was breaking.
Okay. I was saying to thumbs up to that parent, because what I told Bonzi, how seki how gari pamakumbo, how it's a way of teaching a child's boundaries. So thumbs up to that parent.
All right. So unfortunately, our phone has just cut off, but let's try and get her back on the line so that she can continue what she is saying. Please send in your messages on 0712-831-172. Remember, this program comes through every Thursday, brought to us by Family Support Trust. And today we are speaking about perpetrators of sexual violence. So we have Alice back on the line. Alice, you may continue with what you're saying.
Okay. I was saying that thumbs up to that parent, because they are teaching their children boundaries. And I remember Tichikura told Gari Pamakumbo, how Tambi Chisekelera, how D. And our parents were trying to teach us to inculcate boundaries so that we learn to have social boundaries with adults around us, which is good and which can protect our children.
All right, we got another message here that's saying Murain Medu mune pane tax shop and pane mwana akabatwa aenda kunotenga ku tax shop ikoko akabatwa nemuridzo wepamba pe tax shop. So zvine toita seiko ivo vana vacho vana vanenge vajaira vanhu ivava vari munharaunda vachingoti hapana zvaanondiita ndo mabatirwo acho akaita mwana in the area.
Like I said, it is the duty of the parents to really educate their children. And I understand even in the education curricula, children are taught about sexual violence. We need to constantly empower the children. And like I said, this sexual violence talk needs to begin early. It needs to be done often, so that our children are knowledgeable about it and they can protect themselves and say no and tell someone when that happens to them.
Thank you so much. Let's just round off everything that we spoke about this afternoon in regards to perpetrators of sexual violence. Alice?
Okay. Hello?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Our conversation was basically about perpetrators, who the perpetrators are. We say that a perpetrator is someone who engages a child in any sexual activity. We also talked about most perpetrators being someone who's known to the child. We talked about how perpetrators manipulate children in food and gain trust, and engage a child in touching his heartbeat, so that showcasing their ability to protect themselves. We also talked about how parents can protect their children by really talking, listening, and educating their children. And also, maybe lastly, I would like to comment to say that sexual violence is also gone online, because in the COVID environment, a lot of children are doing online schooling. So perpetrators are also using online spaces to abuse children. So as parents, we also need to be on guard and really monitor and supervise our children when they are on online spaces and when they are doing their online schooling. And most importantly, parents should create an open environment for children to feel free to tell if abuse has happened. Mm-hmm. The Family Support Trust, we have a toll-free number. We are available 24/7 on 0808 0501. So if ever a child experiences sexual violence, if they are not able to tell their parents, they can always call this toll-free number 0808 0501.
0808 0501. All right.
Yes.
Please remember.
And you can WhatsApp us on 0777 429 501 or visit our clinic.
All right. Thank you so much, Alice, for speaking to us. Someone has just sent us a message and Dokumbro, that WhatsApp number again.
Okay. 0777 29 501. Then the toll-free number is 0808 0501.
Thank you so much, Alice, for speaking to us on the program today.
Thank you so much, Ambari.
All right, please do remember, it is never too late to make a report. Tokumbiri, so use those toll-free numbers, use that WhatsApp number. You can also just tell them when you send that number, when you get in touch, Kuti, I would like to remain anonymous. Please make a report. Musasiye vana vachishungurudzwa, musasiye vana vachitambudzwa, nekuti munenge muchichka. Isise vana vakuru, we should be the ones to protect the children. We'll do this again next week on Thursday. My name is Chamvari. I'm done with Lunchtime Radio. Stand by for the drive with DJ Chili Baby. I will be back on radio tomorrow.
Good day to you and welcome. This is the news at 3. I'm Joyce Mabika. The country's COVID-19 rollout program continues to receive a positive public response, with more people coming out in their numbers to get vaccinated. Due to a lot of conspiracy theories associated with the COVID-19 vaccine, the initial uptake was slow. However, the trend has since changed, as witnessed by long winding queues